It seems a bit kind of selfish to talk about it this way, but for me anyway, it's almost as if it's been an opportunity to reevaluate, and it forces you to have to make decisions that you wouldn't have normally had time to make,
Yeah.
partly. You know, if you're running around running trips left, right, and center, or doing all the other things that we used to do, I used to find that I didn't have any time to really proactively plan and think and steer that ship in a direction that maybe was sort of a better opportunity, or more me, in a way. So is that something you're finding, that, you know, this kind of forced lockdown situation or lack of travel is kind of forcing you into, because obviously you did the F4, which was on the cards anyway, but
Yeah.
that kind of got fast tracked, I
Yeah,
believe.
well, yeah, definitely. I mean, I've been saying for a couple of years now that I need a break, but you can't take a break. What am I supposed to do? Take 6 months off? And then I was forced into a situation where I had to take 6 months off. So it's like, oh, brilliant. So I was, I'd lost a ton of work, but I'm not complaining. I've still got YouTube and other means of income derived from YouTube. So I was very fortunate. So I used it as an opportunity to, just like you said, just reevaluate, tick all the things on the list that have been on there for years that have never been finished, because there's always a disruptive trip coming up. Oh no, I'm away for 2 weeks and then I'm away for 3 weeks. I can't possibly start this project. So yeah, I mean, great example is I finished my book. I've been writing it for 2 years and I finally just was in a position where I can go, I can actually finish it now. So I did that. Another great example is, just working on the YouTube channel when you can't leave your house was tough, but I managed to get through it and do it. So that's good. And yeah, just it's kind of been good to be forced into a situation where you really have to slow down and work on other projects. And that F4 project, originally we were going to edit it later in the year and release it about now, actually.
Right.
But all of a sudden, we're all sat around twiddling our thumbs. So it's like, well, why don't we just edit it now and get it out in May? So we did, and that was great. Yeah, that was a great project. We're thinking of doing a follow-up video called "What Happened to F4." It's like a documentary that follows each one of us as we've gone on the
almost like an office thing.
Yeah, but it's kind of like just an interview, a talking heads thing. This has just been chat on WhatsApp. We don't know what's going to happen. But the favorite one is that Gavin is now a wedding photographer. So we'll see what happens with that. I don't know, but that'll be a nice little bonus material for people. Hopefully it'll happen.
That sounds good. So we kind of talked a little bit about this in Iceland as well, in terms of, because you're still a kind of a youngish guy. I mean, you've got, 36, yeah. So I think for me at 54, in a few weeks' time, it's kind of easier for me to kind of look at the next decade and then start thinking, well, maybe that's going to be it for work, type of thing. But when you're 36, I mean, there's an awful lot of life opportunity and so forth in front of you. And do you have a clear vision or a thought about where you're going to be in 10 years' time? Is it that important to you to think about?
No, it's not important to me. I'm not the type of person who likes to plan or live in the future, because I just don't like to do that. I rather sort of live year by year rather than decade by decade. So no, I mean, my goal, I suppose, is just to be pretty happy in what I'm doing. I mean, the dream position to be in would be to be so financially secure that I had no mortgage. And then with that, I would then be free to really not care if people don't like what I'm doing. Because what I would love is to release YouTube videos rather than every week. I want to release like one every 3 months, but I want it to be like an epic project, like a full-on expedition, and then this huge body of work, and then drop like a 1 hour video. I think that'd be cool. I couldn't do that now because I can't risk the algorithm dropping me off the planet of the Earth,
Right.
or dropping me off the planet. And it's just, I need to be at a certain point, and then I can be like, all right, it doesn't matter if this doesn't work, but at the minute it does matter. So yeah, I just keep doing what I'm doing. I suppose I'm pretty happy. I suppose I'd like to do more books. That was such a nice thing, such a good therapeutic process to have that complete. And we've talked about this in Iceland. We were saying, I'm surprised you've not done a physical book. You should get one done. I'm already I'm inspired by picking up film again. Like really inspired. I want to do a book that's just film. I want to do just a panoramic book. I want to start doing zines, which just tiny books, project by project. I want to go on like a 10-day road trip around the Highlands, bring only this camera and the panoramic film camera, and then just do a zine from that trip. How good would that be? Like knock it out for like 10 quid or something, just like a fun, informal little book thing. That'd be great. So yeah, full of ideas. But yeah, just waiting on restrictions so I can go and execute them.
Yeah, well, part of the thing you just said is that, planning too far ahead right now just seems crazy. I mean, 18 months ago, we were all planning our years because they're all booked. That was the thing, is that, you and I were booked 2 years in advance or more, and it all just puffed up in smoke. So it's, I think that shows the benefits of living in the moment. And I'm a real Zen meister, and I've got my cushion in the corner and all that type of stuff. But it is, and that's what photography allows us to do, is to be present and to engage, and to each photograph is just a representation of a moment where you're engaged with the world. And that, I think, is probably its primary benefit these days, is talking of mental health and so forth.
Yeah, I love that. I love the fact that when, especially we go back to the subject of anonymous photography, just capturing something that you recognized in a sea of other things that you could have recognized. And especially if that image, if that image speaks to you and it's nice, and if you go the full process and get it printed, and oh man, when you think about it, that moment inspired you to take that shot.
Right.
And that's, therapeutically, that's a really nice thing to be aware of, I suppose. Yeah.
It is, and I think importantly, it's becoming more so, as photography becomes competitive and like-driven and popularity-driven and all of these types of things. Both of us have had little rants about Luminar AI.
Oh yeah, there's this competitive element. There's not naming any names, you know me, don't like to kick up drama, but there are people out there who are passing off work as their own, and it's not their work. There's stories of a photographer who was out with his camera who ran into, and this photographer's a famous photographer, ran into another photographer, a local. The local gives him all of this information, tells him where all the best spots are, even tells him the names of the places, the nicknames of the places. And then this guy goes, takes all this information, does this video, passes it all off as his own work, even uses the same nicknames that this famous photographer, that this local photographer gave to the big famous guy. And this big famous guy's getting so much praise and so much good positive energy, and you've got this poor local guy who's like, no, you've just given away all my secret locations, you've ripped off the nicknames that I gave to these places. And it just, and I see it a lot, not just with one person. I've seen photographers out there use my name in their metadata.
Yeah.
I've seen photographers.
Yeah, I'll stop doing that.
Yeah. I've seen photographers, and I actually don't mind that. It's just an algorithm thing people are trying to achieve. When you see photographers blatantly ripping off images, compositions, and I get it, there is an element of, I didn't, everything's been shot, right? So you're obviously going to stumble upon scenes and shoot them the same as somebody else might have. But when it's so blatant that they've gone and they've actively seeked out this inch by inch composition and then passed it off as their own, I found this spoke to me. And it's like, bull crap. No, you didn't, because we all know that. Well, I'm ranting now. I'm just ranting.
we're on the cusp.
I'm not talking about me. People don't rip off my stuff because most of it's not worth ripping off. But no, it's true. I'm just so like erratic with my photography that it's very difficult to rip off anything that I do. But I'm having regular conversations with other photographers who have grievances, saying this such and such has just taken all my information, repackaged it as their own. And I just think, can't you just be original? Can't you just do something different? Do something that's your own? But anyway, that's what bothers me. That's my biggest grievance. I don't know how we got onto this.
I think this is the product of quiet, tangential questioning that kind of lures you into this position of security where you suddenly forget that you're actually being filmed for
yeah. Hang on. There we go. But yeah, that's why I try and just do things differently. And again, I've said it a million times in this interview, but aside from the awesome guys who've been shooting film forever, there aren't too many people who've actively gone back to film and shared the process. Not that I'm aware of, anyway. So I think me doing this is a bit different, and I like to just mix it up a bit.
Well, you do it very well, and like I said, I mean, I don't watch very many YouTube channels, but I always watch yours, and it was really great in the summer to spend that time together and kind of get to know the guy behind the camera to a certain extent, because you're quite different.
Thanks.
No, it's the thing that's probably is that, God, here we go. You kind of, because you're very honest in your videos, but face to face you're even more so, in that you're very open about being on a development program, and it's your own drive to sort of not better yourself in terms of that kind of word, but you're very conscious of putting effort into your own development. And a lot of people aren't like that. A lot of people just kind of, like you say, copy other people, or they don't expose their weaknesses, they don't show their failures. It's all about just showing the perfection all the time. So yeah, it's admirable, and I'm very well, it was a real privilege to spend that time with you, and hopefully we'll get a chance to do so again.
Oh, we will, without a doubt. I mean, your work's great, and I'm always thinking, what's Alistair shooting? And then I'm just no, yeah, it's true that there's a difference between being influenced and copying.
Yeah, that's right. Well, I hope you enjoyed the book.
I haven't had a chance to read it, but the color of meaning. I haven't read it yet, but only because I've just been. You only sent it me 3-4 days ago. I've been.
That's true enough. Sorry, I just assume when it drops that it's just people are going to drop everything and just jump onto it.
Oh, no, sadly not. I mean, I've got Adam's book downstairs. I've got Ben Horn's book downstairs, and I've got Bruce Percy's book downstairs. So I've got 3 books plus your ebook. All of which have only been leafed through, and that's because I need to be in a very specific place. When I was talking about having a productive trip, and then you have that Zen day. Yeah. Those are the moments when I like to pick up books and sort of refill my inspiration tank. And yeah, just finding those days at the minute is quite difficult. But,
it's nice to know that Bruce's book's been shipped. I've got the deluxe version coming.
That'll be nice. I tell you, it's awesome. Like, I've got to commend him on his packaging. I'm obsessed with packaging now because I ship my own books, and I'm like, every time I get a book in the post, I'm judging it. I'm like, right, come on, let's have a look at the pack. Not the book. I'm judging the packaging.
Right. Isn't there an expression, something about judging books by packaging?
Yeah, I think so. Maybe don't judge the packaging by the book inside. Maybe. But yeah, Bruce's was awesome. He double bagged it, so I waxed it in 2 cardboard boxes and a bubble wrap packaging. And I thought, bloody hell, I only whacked mine in a bubble wrap packaging and cardboard. This is a proper dull conversation. I'm aware of that. But the time to double wrap your book and put it in a polythene bag, and then the extra cost of not only the packaging but the added weight, man, that guy wants to keep his book safe, and I
Yeah.
commend that. I should do more of that.
I bought a print off him earlier in the summer as well, and it was the same, just incredibly wonderfully packaged. So with the deluxe comes another print, so that'll be 2 Percy images I've got. So that's nice. Yeah, I've got Adam's book, and to buy his calendar as well from my mum. I was gonna, because I haven't done a calendar yet, and I had to buy Adam's because I don't shoot views, and my mum only likes views.
Well, that's it. They say you've got 2 different markets. You've got the photographer's market, and then you've got the rest of the world. So I always lean towards the other photographers being my target market rather than someone's mother who might prefer the beautiful sunset.
I need to make my mum a calendar of basically iPhone photos, and she's really happy with that. You know, the ones I take just to sort of remember where I've been, type of thing.
Yeah, that's the same with my mum actually. She'll look at some of my more intimate photography or abstract, and she'll sort of do this.
Yeah.
And then I'll show her an iPhone shot at the beach, and she's like, "Oh, that looked like a nice." Yep.
Yeah, I think our mums need to get together. My mum's exactly the same. Right, man. Listen, it's been a real pleasure talking to you again, and I hope that you get some nice weather down your way. It's been atrocious up here. It's biblical rain today. So
yeah, we've had some.
How's your van? How's the fitting going?
So, news on the van update. Basically, it got imported. It landed in the UK like 6 weeks ago, but because of coronavirus, you can't get the paperwork done because everyone at the DVLA is working from home. So what would take 3 or 4 days to process some paperwork is taking 9 weeks.
Oh, wow.
Right? Anyway, that paperwork came through like 2 days ago. So the guy's doing a wax oil seal. Oh, that's a great conversation, where you wax the underside of the body to protect it from the salty grits on our roads. And it's going to be ready for collection next week.
All right, cool.
So, yeah, so excited.
And then you can start, because you're doing your own fit, aren't you?
I am, yeah, which is exciting and worrying. I'll tell you one thing, I'm going to put in a leather floor.
Oh,
so, yeah, which is expensive, but it's such a small van that it's not really expensive. I could probably just buy like a tester pack and it'll fit. I only need like 1 square meter. So but the whole van's going to be like wood and leather and, you know, like real manly man cave. That's my vision anyway. Yeah, it's going to be good. Looking forward to it.
I'm sure at some point tomorrow morning at 3 o'clock, I'm going to wake up thinking about you in a leather van.
Yeah, everything leather. Yeah, so that's going to be fun. But the van, and when I get that van, it's cool because that's the open road freedom. So I've been sleeping in my car recently, and it's not cool.
No, I've watched you trying to squeeze your body into that thing.
Little hatchback.
Yeah. Well, when you do manage to get up here with the area we're in now, we're really exploring this little corner because no one comes here. In all the days I've been out here locally, I have yet to see another photographer. So we are super, super fortunate where we are, and it is glorious. So yeah, we're looking forward to when you do manage to get up and come and see us.
Yeah, when it's legal and safe to do so, I'll be there, man. Probably in December, just a couple of days.
Just in time for my birthday.
Oh, is your birthday in December?
17th.
I'll bring you a calendar. I've got a garage.
Collect the money for the book at the same time.
Right. Nice one. Nice talking to you.
Yeah, and you, and be safe and take care and all that jazz. And yeah, we'll talk again soon.
Awesome. All right.